Hello and welcome to your Pilates HIIT workout today. We are going to be doing an awesome workout. I'm super excited for you guys to be joining me. We have a little bit of a mix of, if you haven't done the classes before, we kind of start with a core warm up and then move into a little standing series that'll focus more on the legs, but everything here is going to be full body. So no matter what you're doing, you're still working your core. It's the biggest thing here. Getting our arms involved as well and doing a little mat laying down kind of ish series at the end. In between, we're going to mix in those hits so that you can get your heart rates up and get a good sweat in. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to be using some ankle weights, wrist weights. They're each 1 pound. So I've got 4 pounds total. And then you need your Pilates ball for some of the workouts. So I'm going to keep my wrist and ankle weights on the whole time. You can choose to ditch them at any point. If you don't have them, that's totally fine. Also, you don't need to have them for this. Other option is you could grab a little light pair of dumbbells if you want to add more, or if you don't have the wrist weights or whatever. So those are all your options today. So let's get started. We're going to start on our hands and knees down on the mat. So you're going to be in this position. Knees are going to be underneath your hips. Your wrists are going to be under your shoulders. You're going to place the ball in between your inner thighs. Okay, tiny squeeze on the ball to start. So before we start anything, make sure elbows are slightly bent so you're not hyperextending. Feet are going to stay, or actually, yeah, it doesn't matter to start. For the first exercise, you can have them either flat or you can tuck them underneath. So we're starting with tiny squeezes in on the ball. So you're just keeping everything else still. You're just doing tiny squeezes in. Really try to control it on the way out so you're getting that resistance on the way out. Good. Don't just let the ball go. Resist it on the way out here. Pressing into those palms. Activating the core here. Let's go for 3, 2. Last one. This time you're going to squeeze. Hover the knees an inch off the mat. Drop the knees, and then you can release the ball. So you're squeezing the ball. Hold that squeeze as you hover the knees up. Drop the knees back down, and then release. So squeeze, hover, drop, and then release. Make sure you don't slam your knees back down. Really try to control it on the way back, using your core to help you here. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. You're going to hold that hover, tiny squeezes in on the ball, just like you did on the mat. Squeeze and release. For 3, 2, 1. You can drop those knees down. Good. Next time, we're going to go squeeze in on the ball, hover those knees up in tiny circles. So you're circling those knees, tiny, tiny circles, about the size of a little tennis ball or golf ball. Last 3, 2, opposite direction. Keeping that core in tight here, really pulling it up. Good. Don't hold your breath. Make sure you're breathing here. Last 2, 1, dropping the knees down. Good. Last thing here. We're going to squeeze that ball, hover the knees up. You're going to dip one knee down, so you're twisting a little bit over to one side, and then dip the opposite knee down, twist back to center. So getting our obliques involved a little bit here. Good. Dipping one knee down, hovering them back up in center, and then going towards the opposite side. Making sure you're not hyperextending those elbows. Holding that core up here. Good. Last 3, 2, and last one each side. Good. Dropping the knees down. You can unfold the feet now. Let's take a little cat-cow. Inhaling and exhale. Good. Inhale as you round through the back. And exhale. Looking up towards the ceiling, let the back arch if that feels good. Last one here. Inhale. Good. And exhale, come back into that neutral position. You're going to take the ball out from your inner thighs now. I'm going to start with my left hand so you guys can see it pretty well. So again, making sure your knees are underneath your hips. Don't hyperextend that right elbow. We're just going to start with your hand on top of the ball here, really light. We're going to be moving the ball out and then pulling the ball back underneath your shoulder. So you're just rolling the ball out with that left hand, super light on the ball. Good. Activation through that core here. Especially important now, trying to keep your body in the center. Try not to dump into your right side here. Good, using your breath. Inhale as you press the ball out. Exhale, bring it back underneath your body. Let's go for 3, 2. Last one. Good, you're gonna pick that ball up now with your left hand. Your right knee is gonna come up. You're gonna lengthen through your left arm and your right leg, and then pull them in and lengthen. Good. Trying to keep your back flat here. Try not to crunch in through that core. Using your breath. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, pull everything in. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to go out to the side now. So you're going to lengthen. Your elbow and knee are going out to the sides, and then lengthen back out. Bending out to the sides, lengthen back out. Try to keep the rest of your body still here. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to hold that length. You're going to just move your arm and your leg out to the side in a straight position and then pull everything back to center. So you're keeping that length now, just moving it slightly out and then pulling it back to center. Good. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to hold that length, tiny pulses up with the leg, keeping that right arm or left arm lengthened, keeping that core pulled up here. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop the arm down, leg down. You can take a little child's pose here. Through center. Good. Let's lengthen out through that back. Rock through the hips a little bit. Good. And then we'll roll back and come back onto hands and knees. Awesome job. Okay. Bringing that ball into your right hand now. Okay. Again, not hyperextending through this left elbow. Weight is going to stay in center as you start to move that ball out just with that right arm now. And then pull it back underneath your body, keeping the core pulled up. So even though you're moving your arm here, it's really the core starting to pull that ball back to your body. Use your breath to really think about activating the core to pull that ball back in. Good. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to pick that ball up. Left leg is going to hover now. Right arm is going to hover up. Trying to keep that weight through center. You're going to bend and extend, lengthening through the toes, through those fingertips. Good. Trying to keep that length through the core here. Trying to make sure that back doesn't arch. Good. Last 2. Last one. Good. Now we're going out to the side and then lengthening through the center. Out to the side, lengthening through the center. You're just bending that elbow, bending the knee. Out to the sides, coming back through center. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to keep that length. You're just moving them out to the sides now, no bending, just keeping them straight, slightly out to the sides and pulling it back through center. Really try to think about your core initiating this movement. Good, last 3. Last 2. And last one, keeping that length, tiny pulses up with that left leg. Pressing through that left palm here. Good, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bringing that arm and leg down. Sitting back through child's pose once more. Oh, get a big breath in. Good, awesome, awesome job, you guys. Way to get those cores active. And let's move into our first HIIT of the day. So for our first HIIT today, we are going to do jumping jacks for the first exercise, and then we're going to go into a moving plank with a mountain climber twist added into that. So again, we go 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for each exercise, and we do it 4 times each. So we'll start with those jumping jacks. We'll go 4 times through, and then we will move on to the moving plank with the mountain climbers. So let's get started. I'm just going to set my timer here. All right, let's do it. Start with just regular jumping jacks, getting our heart rates up, full body involved, making sure that core is in tight when we're doing these. Don't let the core relax here. Really pulling up through that pelvic floor. Last 3, 2, 1. Let's rest. Good. Just immediately getting those heart rates up here and move the ball out of the way. We're going to go into 1. Let's go. Good. Using that core here. Pulling it tight. I know my postpartum girls, we got to pull that pelvic floor up here so we don't pee. Awesome job, guys. Last 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Good. 2 more. Whew. Just getting those heart rates up. Losing that breath a little. In 3, 2, and let's go. Good. Adds a little bit. Those weights, if you have them on. Good. I really have to focus on pulling that core in because sometimes I just kind of forget with everything else moving. It's a good one to pull that focus in. Last 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Obviously, for all of these, you guys, if you need modifications, please take them. If you can't jump for whatever reason or you don't feel like it today, you can just move those legs in and out while standing. Just keeping your bodies moving here. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Going down onto the mat. We're going to go into that moving plank. We're in here, pulling that core up, and let's go. So you're moving back, you're coming forward, twisting through that mountain climber, 1 to each side, and then coming back again towards the heels. Really strong through that core at the top. Good. And rest down on the mat. You can just rest the knees down, rocking back and forth for a sec. Good. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Pressing back to the heels and then coming forward, holding that core in as you take that mountain climber twist. Twist as in you're bringing opposite knee to opposite elbow towards it. Good. Last 3, 2, and rest. Good. Great work, guys. 2 more. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Pressing back, coming up, strong core here. Good. Last 3, 2, and rest. Last set of these, you guys, and then we're done with our first HIIT of the day. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Pressing back, coming forward, getting that mountain climber in. Again, if you don't feel like this is right for you today, just take it on your knees. You can go into that modified plank. In 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Let's sit back into a child's pose. Just rocking out through the hips, catching your breath. Good. And then you're just going to roll up onto your knees. And we are done with that set. So let's get started with our first little series. I hope you're feeling good after that HIIT. Just get your heart rates up a little bit. So we're going to go into some leg work now, standing. You need the ball for this. Same wrist and ankle weights. So we're going to start. Feet are going to be rotated outwards in that externally rotated position. We're going to start with a little sumo squat series. So we're going here. You can kind of make them as wide as you feel comfortable with. You might have to widen them for the second part if you're not wide enough at the beginning. So let's go down. So we're going to go here. We're coming down into that sumo squat, keeping that core in tight here. You're going to press up, squeezing those glutes, and then press the ball up towards the ceiling. Drop back down, squeezing, really getting that hamstring butt connection here. Good. Using your core. Pulling that pelvic floor up as you press up. Good. Last 3, 2, last 1. Good. You're going to come down. The ball's going to go into your left hand to start. Right hand can kind of just be on your waist. We're going to go elbow into the side. Press out through that heel as you side bend over, and then coming back through center. Dropping down a little bit lower in the middle, and then pressing out through that left heel. Good. Keeping that slight bend in your right knee, even as you press out to the side. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. You're going to sit back into that sumo squat. Ball's going to go into your center again. You're just going to lift and lower the heels. So together, just lifting the heels and lowering them. If that's too much, you can always go alternating, one up and then the other up. Otherwise, just stay lifting and lowering. Good. Last 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. Good. Now ball goes into your right hand, left arm's at your hip. You're going to press that right heel, coming out to the side, and then dropping down through center. Using your breath here, keeping that core in tight. Ooh, that bird was loud. Good. Last 3, last 2. Last 1, you're holding low in that sumo squat. Again, it comes to your center. Tiny pulses down. Down an inch and back up an inch. Good. Let's go for 10 more. You can do it. Let's go. Burn it out. For 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Pressing all the way up. Just bring your feet into parallel. And let's hang down for a little stretch. And just rocking side to side. Good. Okay, rolling back up slowly. All right, we're going to go into a little lunge RDL series now. So we're going to keep the ball in the center for this one as well to start. So we're going to start with our left leg in front. We're going to lunge back with our right. So you're going into a backwards lunge here. Knee's going to stay over your ankle. You're going to press up and drive that knee up, and then start to hinge forward, pressing the arms overhead, leg is out behind you. Bring it back into center, and then dropping back down into that lunge. So you're coming up, knee drive, hinge forward, arms and leg go out. Bringing it back to center, and then dropping down into that lunge. So knee drive using your core here. Good. Hinging forward. Doesn't really matter how low you go. Just using your core to help you control it. Good. Awesome, you guys. Last 3. 2. And last one. Good. Now I want you to hold here. We're going to keep that hinge forward. Ooh, lost my balance here. Hinge forward. We're going to go arms out, leg behind you, and just go with that, bringing them in and out. We're going to keep that hinge the whole time, making sure your back doesn't arch here. It doesn't have to be a super low hinge. Keeping that slight bend in your left knee, standing knee. Good. Pulling the ball in the knee in, and then pressing it back out, lengthening as you go out. Last 3. 2. And the last one, you're going to hold that length out. You're just going to drop that leg down, tap it on the floor, and then pull it back up. Good. Last 5. 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Awesome job. Dropping back down into that lunge for the last little part here. All we're doing is just pulsing. Good. Lots of pulsing today. Burning it out. Let's go for 10. Last 5. Keeping that core in for 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome job. Just taking a stretch. Left foot is in front, right leg stays behind. Dropping that head and neck down. Just relaxing into it. Awesome, awesome job. Okay. Coming back. We're just going to do a tiny little squat series before we go to the other side. The ball's going to go in between your legs. All we're going to do here is come. Arms are going to raise, pressing the arms behind you as you come up in a straight position. So you're coming down. Balls between the knees. You're just swinging the arms with intention. Getting some movement here. Doesn't have to be a very low, deep squat. Just coming slightly down and then pressing back up. Keeping that core in tight here. Length through the fingertips. Don't hold your tension there. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. You're just going to hold. Tiny squeezes in on the ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 10, 9. Tricked you there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Pressing back up. You're going to take the ball opposite. We're going to go opposite side now. So right leg's going to stay in front. Left foot's going to go behind into that lunge. Ball's in the middle between both of your hands. So you're dropping down into that back lunge, driving that knee up, hinging forward, pressing the arms and legs out. Good. Driving up again, and then dropping into the lunge. You're coming up, driving it up with that core, hinging, lengthening, driving back up, and then dropping it down. This side's harder for me to balance on for some reason. Good. Keeping that slight bend in the right knee or whichever knee's standing. Slight squeeze on the ball between the hands. Good. Last 4. Last 3. Woo. Last 2. And last 1. Woo, losing my balance here on this side. All right, keeping that length in your leg and in your hands, you're gonna bend and lengthen back out. Keeping that hinge, slight bend in that right knee, keeping the core in tight here. Good, last 4, 3, last 2. And this next one, you're keeping that length, just dropping that leg down behind you and pressing it back up, keeping that core in tight here. Don't let the back arch. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. You're dropping into that lunge. Tiny pulses down. Good. Burn that leg out here. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome work. Keeping that right leg in front, left leg behind. We're going to take a little stretch here. Just dropping your head and neck down. Relaxing down, getting that stretch through the right leg. Awesome, awesome job, you guys. Okay, let's take a little stretch to center. And then we'll go into our second HIIT of the day. Rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Good, rolling the shoulders back. Let's go into our second HIIT. So, as if we didn't do enough lunges with that series for our HIIT. Second HIIT of the day, we're going to do a little lunge jump series. So, just regular lunge jumps. We're switching in the air. If you're too sore, too tired to do that, you can always go just rotate through your backwards lunges as you go. And then the second little series we're going to do is side planks. You can really pick whatever variation you want. I think today I'm just going to go with hip dips. I'm going to keep my left arm or whichever arm's up high lengthened and just dip down and up. We'll do 2 each side. So 2 first on one side, and then we'll switch to the other side, and we'll do 2 on the opposite side. So hope you can stay with me for this. Remember, 20 seconds on, 10 off. Give it your all here. Let's get our heart rates back up, and then we have that last little series to finish before our last HIIT of the day. Let's go. Into 1. Let's go. Starting with those lunge jumps. Good. Just burning those legs out. Awesome, you guys. Using your breath here to help you. Let's power through this together. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Kick the legs out here. Gives it a little add with those weights too. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Sweeping those legs in the air. Awesome, you guys. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo, those are burning. Let's finish it off together. You have 2 more sets here. In 3, 2, 1. Heart rate is up. Legs are burning. It's all about the mental here, guys. Using our core to help us. Let's go. Halfway. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Last and final set of these. Last time with lunges here. In 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Let's do it. Halfway. Let's go. Last 5, 3, 2, and done. Woo. That was tough. You guys are tougher. Let's do it. Side planks in 2, 1. We're up. I'm going to do hip dips here. Just a small hip dip, squeezing that oblique. My elbows underneath my shoulder here. Last 3, 2, 1. Drop down and rest. Okay. Heart rate's coming down a little bit here. In 3, 2, 1. Lifting back up, same side. Last set of this side. Keeping that core in. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's flip over to the other side. Elbow underneath your shoulder. In 3, 2, 1. Coming up. Dipping. Pulling that oblique in. Good. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. One more set. Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. Last set here. Good. Halfway there. Pulling that core in. 3, 2, and done. Awesome job. Take a little child's pose. Nice work, you guys. Last series before our last hit of the day, and then we'll take a little stretch and you guys are done. So we're gonna start in our high kneeling position. We're gonna put the ball in between the thighs, just for a little extra here, holding those inner thighs, okay? So you have your wrist weights. If you want to level up here, you can grab some little hand weights as well. I'm just gonna stick with these today. We'll do some more reps so that we get a little bit more burn in. So we're starting here. You're gonna bend back towards your heels. So you're stretching out those quads here. You're bending back towards the heels. You're gonna press up, and we're gonna do a little serve the platter. So your arms are gonna go straight with that bent elbow, and then come back down. Elbows are squeezed into the sides as you're sitting back towards those heels. So you're not gonna sit fully back. You're just gonna go back towards the heels, and then lifting back, using that core here to help you. Keeping that slight squeeze on the ball. If your knees are hurting here, you can grab something to put underneath them, or you don't have to do the hinge if that's causing more pain. You can just stay up on those high knees. Good. Last 3, 2, 1. This next one, you're going to come up, holding that here. And we're going to do tiny circles, holding those elbows up. Still slight bend in them. Keeping the core strong here. Last 3, 2, 1. Switching directions. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Going back into that hinge. You're going to keep your elbows glued to your side. Now you're hinging, pressing up. We're going to do that small external rotation. Elbows are glued into the side, and then hinging back down. So elbows stay by the sides the whole time here. Just going external rotation and pulling back in. Arms are parallel with your shoulders as you're dipping down towards the heels. Keeping that squeeze on the ball. Abs are in tight here. Good. Last 3, 2. Last 1. We're going to go in here. And your arms are going to go out to the sides, bending back in and coming down. So now you're at that external rotation and coming back in. Good. Getting the underneath of those arms. Last 3, 2. Last one, you're going to hold those out. Tiny bend in the elbows, tiny circles again. Last 3, 2, 1. Switch directions. Holding that core in tight here. 3, 2, and 1. You're going to stay up here. Elbows are going to go into the sides. You're going to lift them above your head and then pull them back down. You're going a little shoulder press here. Feeling that length through your core as you press your arms up. Keeping that squeeze on the ball. Last 3, 2, last 1. Good. You're going to go hinge forward. Hold the hinge this time. We're doing tiny presses with those triceps and straighten. So bend and straighten the arms back, pulling that core in here. Tiny squeeze still on the ball. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold those arms straight behind you, tiny circles. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Switching directions. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Take a little arm circle here. Do a couple more in that direction. Good. Switching directions. Keeping the core in tight still, even though it's a little cool down. Good. Okay, taking the ball out now. We're going to go into a little sideline series. So you're going to use the ball as a pillow. If that feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can just go right onto the floor. We're still pulling that core up, even though you're laying down on the ball. Okay, so don't let it totally relax here. Make sure that side body, you're pulling it up off the mat. You can use this arm. Just kind of wrap this arm around the ball. Use the opposite arm. Just has a little bit of stability here. You're going to start with that bent angle in your knees. We're starting with some clams. So we're going here and alternating between a regular clam heels together and then lifting everything up in parallel to the leg below. Good. Keeping that core in here. Good. Pressing that head into the ball so that you don't have any tension in your neck here, but we're still activating through that core. Lengthening through this top core as well. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Good. You're going to hold that clam open, kick out at that diagonal, pull the heels back together, and then close the clam. So you're opening, kicking out, knee stays where it is, pulling it back, and then lowering the leg down. Kicking out, heels together, and lower. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1, you're going to hold there, tiny pulses up at that diagonal. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Pull it in, punch it out for a second. We're going to go into our second part of this series. So you're keeping that bottom leg bent. You're going to pull the knee in until it's parallel with your hip and then press it out. You can flex your foot here. Bending and pressing it out to straight. Bend and press it out to straight. Really try to keep it from coming in too far so that you don't crunch this part of your core too much. You want it to stay lengthened. We're just bending it in and kicking it out. Good. Good. Last 5, 4, 3. Last 2. Last one, you're going to hold it out straight, tiny little dips down and up, tiny pulses here, making sure that core is still and strong. I like to kind of feel, making sure I'm pulling up here still. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, you're going to straighten out now through that bottom leg as well. We're going to go here. You're going to bring this top leg up the bottom leg, straighten it at the top, and then squeeze it down. Really using that core for stability here. Squeeze the legs together. You kind of have them externally rotated. Good. Squeezing those inner thighs. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. You're going to go opposite direction. You're coming, bending, and then bringing it out. Lengthening and bringing it out. Good. Last 3. Using your breath. Last 2. And last 1. We're going to lift the legs and do tiny heel clicks here. So the legs are lifted together using that oblique. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to start to scissor the legs. Good. Holding that stability in your core. Last 3, 2. Last 1. Good. You're going to put this knee bent behind you. This leg's going to go out to a diagonal in front of you. You're going to do tiny lifts and lowers, getting that inner thigh here. Using your core to help you. So it's all connected here. Pelvic floor, lower abs, inner thigh, lifting it up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold the lift, tiny circles. Last thing here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Switching directions. Last 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. I'm going to take the ball out for a second. We'll find a little twist here. Awesome job, you guys. Okay, before we switch sides, we just have a tiny little bridging. So we're going here. The ball's going in between the inner thighs again. Arms can just be down by your sides. You're going to press through those heels slowly, start to roll up. Inhale at the top. You can lengthen the arms overhead if that feels good for you today. I always like to do that to just kind of stretch out through the spine a little bit more, and then bring the arms back down. Pressing back up through those heels, leading with your core here. Slowly start to roll through your spine as you come back down. Good. Do a couple more here. Always like to add in some bridging here to stretch out through those hip flexors. So good for you. Good. On this last one, you're going to press up, hold up at the top, tiny squeezes in on the ball. Last 3, 2, holding that squeeze, tiny dips, and up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen those arms overhead, and then slowly start to roll back down. Awesome job. Okay, just short little bridge series for a transition. We're going to switch over to the other side. Ball goes underneath your head. Again, using it as a little pillow here, pressing that head really into it to relax that neck. Make sure everything else is in line. You have those legs out at that diagonal. This arm can be in front for some stability. You're going to start with those clams to open clams. Good, making sure that core is lifted here. Keeping the heels together for the first one. And then everything comes up in parallel for the second. Good. Awesome, you guys. Using your breath here. Last 5, Last 3, 2, last 1. Good. Next time you're going to open that clam up, keep the knee where it is, kick the leg out, bring the heels back together, and then close. So you're opening up, knee stays where it is, kick out, and then close. Good. Awesome, you guys. Last 3, 2, last 1. We're going to open up, kick out, tiny pulses up at that diagonal, making sure that core is pulled in here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bringing it down, kicking out, or punching out through that hip for a second. We're going to take that top leg off. Again, pulling it in, not bringing it too far up, just keeping it here. You're going to kick out and then back. Good. Pressing out and have your foot flexed here. Good. Last 5, 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. You're going to hold out straight, tiny pulses up in parallel now. Good. Last 3, 2. We're going to go tiny circles. Good. Switching directions. Feel the burn here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lengthening through that bottom leg. We're going to come up the leg, lengthen, and then close, squeezing those legs together. Coming up the leg, lengthen, squeeze those inner thighs, keeping the core strong here. Try not to let yourself start to roll back. I can feel myself rolling back onto that hip. Try to keep your weight forward here, using your core to help balance, lengthening through that bottom leg, and then squeezing those inner thighs. Good. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Then we're going to opposite direction. So you're opening it up, bending, and then coming down that leg. Good. Awesome, you guys. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Good. You're going to start to scissor those legs. Hi. Oh. Good. Last 3, 2, last 1. Good. You're going to bend that leg behind you. Tiny lifts and lowers with that front leg. Getting that inner thigh on the right side now, whichever side you're on. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do tiny circles. Oh, I just realized we forgot something on this side. I'll go back to it after. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Switching directions. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to bring that leg out. Squeeze those legs together. Tiny lifts and lowers using that oblique. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and one. Awesome, awesome job bringing that ball out, taking a twist, looking over towards the opposite shoulder. Awesome work, you guys. Okay, we've got our last hit and then a little cool down, and we are out of here for the day. Last piece of work for the day, and then we are into our cool down and we are done. So, of course, I saved your best for last. So we've got burpees on deck, 4 sets, 20 seconds on, 10 off. You can do whatever version of a burpee feels good for you today. I'll do a little half burpee. I'm not going to add the push-up in today since I have the weights on my arms and legs anyways. I've got that work in, so I'm going to keep it simple. And then our second exercise is going to be down here. You're going to come into a little bridge, just hovering slightly off the ground. You're going to bring one leg up. You're going to crunch it in, and then you're going to lengthen. Okay? We're going to stay on this side, and then we'll switch and we'll alternate this time between the two. Okay? So alternating sides in between. All right, we're starting in 5. Let's go into that burpee. In 2, 1, let's go. Keeping that core in tight. Nice, you guys. Last 5, 2, and 1. Good. Whew, body's feeling it. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Good. Keeping those wrists under the shoulders as you press back to that plank position. Good. Last 5, 2, and 1. Resting. Got 2 more sets here. In 3, 2, 1. Jumping back, pressing up. Good. Almost there, you guys. Last 5, 2, and 1. Last set. Last and final set. Best effort here. Let's do it. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Awesome job, you guys. Last 5, 2, and done. Awesome, you guys. Okay, coming down onto the mat. Last exercise here. In 2, 1. Coming up, lifting one leg up, bending and lengthening through that leg. So again, keeping that core long here. Don't want to crunch it in too far. Good. Keeping that length for 3, 2, and done. Set it down for a sec. We're switching to the opposite leg. In 3, 2, 1. Coming up into that bridge, lifting opposite leg off, lengthening and bending it in. Good. Keeping that length in your core. Last 3, 2, 1. Set the leg down and then come down. Rest. Switching back over to the other side. Last time on this side. In 3, 2, 1. Up in that bridge. Bend and lengthen. Awesome, you guys. Last 5, 3, 2, and done. Setting that side down. Let's switch over last time. Last exercise here. In 3, 2, 1. Lifting up, bending that leg in, keeping the length through the core, lengthening through that leg. So you got lots of things working here. Try to use your breath. Good. Awesome job, you guys. Last 3, 2, and done. Awesome, awesome work. Whew. Okay, fish. Bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Just going to do a little cool down if you want to stay for that. And then we're out of here. So for the cool down today, we're going to use the ball, come down onto the mat. We're going to go ball. It's going to go underneath the hips, okay? We're just going to start lengthening through one leg, pulling one knee into the chest, really getting that hip flexor stretch here. You can lengthen through that arm as well. Create even more length through that side of the body. Just some deep breaths here. Really sink into the ball. Good. Okay, switching sides. Bending that knee in, lengthening through the opposite side. Really sinking into the ball here, taking some deep breaths. Good. Okay, we're going to come up. Legs are going to come up to the ceiling. Just shake out the legs a little bit. You can circle through the ankles. Good. We're going to go legs together, just opening and flexing the feet to close. So opening the legs up, pointing the toes, flexing the feet, bringing them back together. Doesn't have to go very far, just a slightly open and back together. Last 3, 2, last 1. You're going to hold the legs slightly open, tiny circles here. Last 3, getting some of that lactic acid out. 2, switching directions. Good. Okay. Just circling out through the ankles, shaking the legs out one more time. You're going to bring the legs in to the chest, just letting that lower back stretch here. Good. And then stretch all the way out, both legs. Lengthening through the legs and the arms here. Getting that full stretch. You can rock side to side a little bit and just feel that length here. Good. And then lastly, we're going to go into a happy baby. Hips up on the ball. Pressing down. Pressing those knees out. Good. Stretching out through that pelvic floor here. Inner thighs. And then you can just bring the feet together. Come into a little butterfly to end. Just open up the arms. And rock side to side on top of the ball. Good. And then just hold still. And lengthen out through the legs. Lengthen out through the arms into like a star. And just relax everything down. Awesome job, you guys. Taking the ball out from underneath you. Good. And then slowly pressing up. Great, great work today. I'm so happy that you guys are joining me. If you have any questions, any comments, any recommendations or suggestions for what you want to see in our next workouts, I'm going to be working on some pre and postnatal workouts as well, and adding those in so that my ladies that are pregnant and are postpartum can get some work in as well and feel like, you know, they're guided there. So super excited about that. I'm so happy that you joined me today. I hope you feel great, and I'll see you in the next workout.